The creative process for this record's been around 3 years.
Yeah.
Because we were sort of starting, as soon as you end like a record cycle, so Phases was our second record, we kind of like are already thinking about the next set of songs that
Right
we want
away.
to release. And so it's actually such a long process for many artists. Like it takes a while to collect all the songs and put them all together. And then COVID happened, so then all of that kind of made it go slow. So in general, like full round, it's been around 3 years
But
of waiting.
it was a big opportunity. It was horrible everything going on in the world, but we kind of used it as, well, we're not going to release an album right now. Let's dig in the corners. Let's make the album that we feel really convicted by. The album that we like really want to put a lot of time, a lot of heart, a lot of TLC in. So we went in the studio a year ago today, and now it's being released.
The years go by and I'm stumbling. Oh, I don't know where all the time's gone.
I have a habit though of reading too much into lyrics or melodies or like how things are sonically, but knowing like how much time you put into this and kind of taking a step back to make the record you really want, I did hear a lot of vulnerability in it, but that could be in my own mind. How did you feel actually making this? Was it a bit of a more vulnerable process?
Yeah, this record has a lot of feelings for sure. We were intentionally trying to make the stories and the songwriting process around our own experiences rather than sort of taking from the world or friends, or we were like, let's tell our story through our music the best way that we can. And in the beginning of every year I write out my goals, and I think it's like such a huge thing to do for people. And one of my goals was make the most honest, authentic record that we can make. And that was, I mean, I guess it's been 3 years, but but just through the whole process of like putting the album artwork together and doing the videos and doing everything, we're like, let's just make it as intentional and as open and as honest as we feel comfortable with in the world that we're in today. It's very like volatile. There's a lot of opinions and thoughts going around. But we just want to share our story the best we can and include people in it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
you didn't overhear those things. That's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely vulnerable, and it's like that's how we can be sincere, is writing from our experiences rather than adding to the noise.
I don't want your fake fame. Got eyes for the high.
There was the line like, get back to why we started in the first place. Come on and give me spirit. I needed to hear that in that moment. Like,
Nice.
how did you know? Because no matter what somebody's doing, there's that moment we have. But in the word spirit, especially hearing it in this context, like what does that actually mean to you? And I know that's kind of like a weird out there question. Hello, who's this? No, don't believe it.
That's Mishka. We're staying at a friend's place in Toronto, and we don't have cats, but he loves interviews apparently.
Probably wanted to talk about spirit as well. I like it. He's like, I'm the spirit of this album.
That's really cool that you draw that line out, because that to us is the epicenter of the album. Is why did we like, and through the last few years with the pandemic, we were writing the record, and why did we start Dear Rouge? What did we set out to do? Why are we a band? Why are we doing this? And let's make that record. Let's make the record that would please ourselves 10 years ago of like what we wanted to achieve. And that's cool, because that line is a big line for us.
Yeah, and take me back to where we started in the first place, for every person sort of like that had that dream and that spark in them of what they wanted to do and wanted to achieve. It's like, we want to cheer you on because we know what it feels like to want to quit. And I think that's the message, is that we want people to get that spark and know that like Dear Rouge is cheering you on. Go after what you want, because you can have it, you can dream, and those dreams are important. So don't give up on yourself.
Mm-hmm.